What's up, bro? What have you been doing today?
Nothing, man. I got up, took Monica to work, and came back, relaxed for a little bit, went to go get a haircut,
Nice.
and then I've been cleaning.
Doing adulting during the day off.
Yep, Thursday's clean the apartment day.
Nice. Well, hopefully Larry can hop on with us.
Yeah, did you send him the link?
Yeah. Yeah, he
Okay,
has
cool.
it. Yeah. We are live. Yeah, man, I'm excited to do this podcast. So
No, man, it's gonna be good.
yeah, so I guess want to do a small like who we are. You can let the people know who Nicolas de Toth is.
Yeah, I want to do a little introduction of everybody, just to introduce everybody to the podcast, stuff like that, for the guys that are going to be on. And then we can go into, the background, stuff like that.
You want to start it off?
Yeah. So here we are, episode 1 of World of Iron. So
I'm excited.
I titled this "Hello World" because today's our first episode, so we're going to introduce everybody. So my name's Nicolas de Toth. IG handle is Nicky D Physique. I've been a personal trainer for the last 4 years. I first started with Gold's Gym. Started at Culebra over here in San Antonio, Texas. So Culebra location, and then moved on to Valley High as a fitness manager. And as the same amount of time I've been with Gold's, is the same amount of years I've been competing as a bodybuilder.
Nice. How long you been with Colts, or were you with Colts?
I was with them for 3.5 years.
Okay, so you've been competing for 3.5 years too.
Yep.
Nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know you had been competing. I didn't know it was the same amount of time you've been with the Gold's Gym.
Yeah. Truth be told, I first got introduced to Jojo Gonzalez, if anybody knows him, in at Gold's at Culebra. So I had a buddy of mine named Juan. He was one of my sales guys that I worked with, and he knew Jojo because Jojo used to go in there all the time.
Yeah.
So
that was like one of the places to be. Like that's where I feel like everyone was. I never trained there, but
yeah, at that time, there's a lot of pros there. Yeah, I don't know if you know who Jakeith is.
I don't think so.
So Jakeith, I think his last name's Robinson. He's a Air Force. I forgot what rank he is, but he was in the Air Force, and he I think it was that same year, 2018 or 19, that he actually he turned pro.
Nice.
Yeah, so he was another guy that worked out there. And then how I actually got into bodybuilding was this one kid. His name's Jordan Alvarez. So you probably know who Jordan is.
I think so.
Yeah, he did men's physique and classic, and he did like when I met him, he did the Adela, the Adela Garcia. So he worked at the front desk at Gold's, and we got to talking and stuff like that, and I was like, hey man, I've always wanted to compete, and he was like, hey man, I'll train you. So I won't even charge you. And I was like, hey, I'm down.
Nice.
So like we literally did a 12-week prep.
And what show did you do?
I did my first show was the San Antonio Extravaganza.
Oh, that's nice. That's right.
Yeah, so the big one here in it's the Pro-Am
here in San Antonio.
Yeah, so that was That was pretty brutal. It was my first introduction to to a prep.
Yeah,
So definitely wasn't fun. He had me doing 60 minutes, 7 days a week of cardio.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I know someone right now. I won't name any names, but I know someone right now. They completely. I mean, everyone's different, but I guess someone who they're with completely changed their training, and they're only doing like 12 minutes of cardio.
That's it.
And yeah, and they're like literally like getting peeled. Like I'm like, what the heck? It's crazy. But hey, you know what I mean? That's pretty
I
cool.
can
I wish
only
I
chop
could.
that up.
I wish I could get away with 12 minutes of cardio.
Seriously, I can only chop that up to diet.
Yeah,
It's all diet.
yeah, and training intensity, right?
Yep. But his carbs must be minuscule.
No, they said that they're actually adding more carbs this weekend.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Um, yeah, so
How we doing on Larry?
I know I was just seeing. I don't know what he's doing, but it'll be on your end too to let him in if he's in the waiting room.
Okay.
But yeah, so I guess I'll go next. A little small background on me. I'm Andrew Salmon, or a lot of people know me as AJ Iron Militia on Instagram. I am 31. I started bodybuilding at about like 19, 20 years old. My first passion was music, and played in a few different bands. I'm originally from south of Chicago, Illinois. Um, Played in the whole music scene up there. And I started bodybuilding just as a means to get back in shape. I used to drink, smoke cigarettes for years, live that whole rock star music lifestyle. And, after quote unquote almost making it in the music industry a few times, um, I just wanted to get back in shape. And I think I was producing music at the time and just going to the gym as an outlet. But when I found bodybuilding, and realizing that it's all on you, like it's kind of a one person show, whereas like in music, in a band, um, you have five different people, five different personalities and work ethics and characters trying to work together, and it seemed like there was always like maybe one person that didn't like this or didn't like that, and you have egos. And with bodybuilding, it's if you don't put in the work, if you don't put in the diet, and it's all on your responsibility. So I started seeing the return on my efforts, and I was hooked. Once you start seeing those results,
Absolutely.
and I was like 135 pounds, like super skinny.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I think I got up to like 160, 175 the first year I started lifting, and then decided to do my first show. And back then, you didn't have classic physique, so I did bodybuilding. Um, Everyone kept telling me, and I didn't realize how small I was until looking back. But everyone's like, "Oh, you're doing men's physique, men's physique." And I remember I used to get so mad. I'm like, "No," because I was so passionate about bodybuilding. I was like, I'm doing bodybuilding. And so I did my first couple of shows. And now I've done about 4 or 5 shows, bodybuilding for 10 years. Um,
That's awesome.
and then I moved to Texas in 2013. My dad kind of convinced me to go all in on the whole fitness and bodybuilding thing. So I started uh, Iron Militia Clothing. It was just a random idea, and just ran with it. And so I've had that company here in San Antonio ever since. And then um, as a means to fulfill my need for like media, photography, video, and stuff for my brand and models and athletes and stuff like that, I started teaching myself how to do like photography and video editing and all that stuff. And then I met JT back. Those of you who don't know, Coach JT, he's another known trainer here in San Antonio. But I met him back in 2013 too, and both of us were like, no one knew who we were, you
Wow.
know. So we kind of just, we've always been friends, just kind of, he's been doing his thing, doing my thing, and he's always supported the clothing brand. I had my first booth at the Ronnie Coleman back in 2014, and I remember him driving all the way up there to come work the booth with me for free. So me and him have just been rocking together ever since. So when he came to me about doing content and video and stuff, working together, it was just kind of like a no-brainer. So I've been doing that and sort of an serial entrepreneur, just jack of many trades. I'm always doing something new, and now we have this podcast, so I'm super excited. Hopefully we can get some really cool guests on here in the future. A lot of people, like, I know HC, getting Santiago on here from HC would probably be really cool. I don't think a lot of people have interviewed him,
Yeah. I think that'd be really cool, just kind of hearing about his story and how him and his brother actually created HC Fitness.
Yeah. So and then of course I want to see if JT wants to get on here. And we'll see what else we can do, but this is just a start. So Nick came to me with the idea, and I was like, let's do it. So here we are, episode 1, World of Iron podcast. We have one more guy, Larry, but I don't know if he's gonna make it or not today. But
how can I send him an invite? Because I don't see him in the waiting room or anything.
I sent him the link. Let me see. Let me ask him if he's gonna be able to make it. He's typing.
So what about you, man? What'd you do today?
Probably not. He said he's probably not gonna make it. I was just going over. I just launched that new coffee company yesterday with my dad, IronhouseCoffee.com. So
talk about that.
Yeah, so I mean, as you and your wife know, I'm such a big coffee drinker. Like it's not even. It's like I just love the taste, and my dad's the same way. So a lot of my pastimes, like when I first moved here and kind of when I was younger, we would just sit and drink coffee in the morning and just talk about like business and politics and philosophy and you name it. So I've always just loved coffee, and it was kind of a no-brainer. It was funny because I had posted a week ago on my story on Instagram, like, who would be interested if I came out with my own coffee, and I had a pretty good response. And then my dad randomly called me. He did not see this on my story because he's not really on Instagram. He randomly called me and goes, "Hey, what do you think about starting a coffee company?" I was like, he's like, "You were reading my mind," or something. So I was like, let's do it. And a lot of my business and stuff, early on, I learned from my dad. So my dad's been a huge influence on me. I actually didn't meet him until I was 19. But
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that's a whole nother story in itself. But yeah, so now, I mean, we moved pretty quickly on it. I think it took us 3 days to launch and roll out, and we did. He's like, I was gonna wait till Monday.
Yeah.
And it's now Thursday, the 15th of April, and we were gonna launch it this upcoming Monday. And I had pretty much did all the website layout pretty quickly and set everything up. And he was like, "Hey, we have people waiting. Why don't we just launch it right now?" I was like, he's not wrong. So I was like, let's do it. As soon as we launched it last night, and we already got a bunch of orders flying. It was crazy. I was not expecting it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So how are you guys I guess making it, like distributing it, like?
So we linked up with a company in California. My dad's right there in California, so it works out. So when you place an order, the order gets sent to our manufacturer, and then what's really cool is we have the highest quality beans in the whole US, and they're locally sourced from local farms. And then we also have a bunch of different varieties of blends and origins from all over the world. And they're actually a lot of people don't know coffee beans are actually green before you roast them.
Yep.
So what happens is the day you order, you put in your order, and the day it ships out to you, the coffee isn't roasted until that day. So you're getting the freshest coffee
So it's
beans
super,
that you,
super pure.
yeah, the freshest, and it's really really good at premium coffee. So it's pretty close to, if not the freshest coffee that you can buy online right now. So I'm super excited about it. And there's tons of
Is
flavors like
is it
cinnamon.
what do they call it? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but Arabica.
There's different blends
Yeah.
on there. Yeah. So I didn't want to go too crazy, but we have a good base to start with. But and my dad's a veteran, so a portion of the proceeds are going to go to support veterans, and we're going to try to get some veteran athletes and stuff like that too. So
Oh yeah, nice.
yeah, so I'm pretty excited. And
Yeah, I can definitely respect that, being a former Marine as well. So
yeah, exactly. I
yeah,
knew you would.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So, and what's really cool is we're both doing it for the love of it. Like, this is not something that we need to do to make money from it, because we have other things that generate our income. So it's
Right.
really coming from a place of passion and just excitement for,
Yeah,
coffee.
those are the ones that do well, man.
Yeah, so super excited. And there's so much that we can do with it. And of course, my fitness side to it, I'm going to try to bring in some really cool ideas that will, kind of help, I think, fit into that fitness niche and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
you can do. I mean, I've seen it done out there before, but I mean, you can definitely do it within the company.
yeah,
You could do it with infused with CBD to help with joints and inflammation and stuff like that.
yeah, that's been a big one too. I've been getting a lot of questions about that one. About,
Yeah,
are you guys gonna
CBD
have
coffee.
CBD coffee? Yeah. So
Yeah, I think that'd be a huge one.
yeah. So I was going to ask your take on this, because this was something I've been seeing a lot more. I mean, it's been around for a long time.
Mhm.
Um, what's your take on dry scooping pre-workout?
To be honest with you, I dry scoop.
You dry scoop? Oh no, we can't be friends no more.
Sorry, bro.
That should be on
I
a
guess
shirt. I dry scoop.
I guess why I do it is just because, well, the reason I do it is because, like, I guess I don't want to wait, or I don't want to waste water in the beginning, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to be so, like, bloated, or not bloated, but so
Oh, that
full
makes
of
sense.
water
Mm-hmm.
while I'm working out that I have to stop my workout to go pee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, because usually you put pre-workout in water and shake it up and drink it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I rather just dry scoop it real quick, take a couple swigs of water, and I'm ready
Yeah.
to go.
I'm not gonna lie. I've done it a couple times, but every time I do it, I start to choke on the powder. Doesn't matter if I put water in my mouth and just try to swish it around, like, and then I'm crying and I'm dying. I was like, why? And so every time I do it, man, I regret the fuck out of it.
Yeah, there's
So I'm like, why did it? But it hits you fast.
so there's a science to it. So
So
how to
process.
successfully dry scoop without choking or anything like that, you have to make sure you do not inhale. So
Uh,
you breathe through your nose, and you breathe slowly.
we need an instructional video
Yeah.
on
So
social
don't
media
yeah.
on
So
the proper way to dress.
don't breathe through your mouth, because think about it. You do that and you're like, what do you think is going to happen? All that powder is going
Oh
to go
yeah,
down
it's the
your
worst.
lungs. It's
The
going to go right
worst.
down your throat, and you're going to start choking.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to breathe through your nose slowly,
Yeah, I
and
can't do it,
then
man.
take that swig of water,
Yeah.
swirl it around your mouth, and boom, just swallow it.
Yeah. I mean, to me, to each their own. Like, it doesn't matter to me if, like, you dry scoop or you don't dry scoop.
Yeah.
But if I had to be, like, technical, and just so a lot of people to put it out there so they know, some of the ingredients you need a good amount of water for it to actually be transported into the body and be absorbed by the body, because it's water soluble.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you get a good pre-workout that's like fully dosed and has all these ingredients in there, you're gonna want to get a good amount of water with that and make sure it's blended up. Otherwise, not saying that the pre-workout is gonna work, but just as a side note, just something to think about. But to me, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just throwing that out there. So a lot of people don't know that.
Well, to your point, of course, I'm a ambassador for Redcon One, and their Total War product, their pre-workout, it has black pepper extract in it. So even more so, you have to be very careful when you dry scoop. You got to be very careful when you dry scoop, because you inhale that just a little bit, you're like all that stuff's gonna come right out.
You're done for.
Yeah, because that black pepper, like, oh man, you'll be coughing for a minute.
Yeah, and be on fire.
I did that one time. I almost choked.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the worst, man. But yeah, I know that's a big controversy is dry scooping. Is it good? Is it bad? Should you do it? What's the difference? So that'd be cool to touch on.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think it's easier to turn pro now or a few years ago in the IFBB?
From what I've seen and heard, I think it's easier now.
Now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've heard many other competitors and pros say that, like, nowadays they're giving out pro cards left and right. So I don't know how I necessarily feel about that. I mean,
yeah,
because at the end of the day, a win's a win. But it really comes down to like who is in your lineup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, who did you really go up against? And if people don't know this, bodybuilding as a sport is very subjective. So it really comes down to what the judges want. It really doesn't matter how peeled you come, how conditioned you look. Like, you could literally be slightly under conditioned and your posing could be on point, spot on. Your stage presence, you're looking at the judges, and literally that one thing can set you apart. And you might as everybody else up there.
Yeah, I've heard a pro say, I forget who it was, but it's like you have two performance cars, right? You have a Lamborghini and a Ferrari, and they're both very unique. But it's like which one do you like better? Some guy might be a Ferrari person, one guy's a Lambo person. Yep. It's just what do you prefer?
Yeah, and that's that's just the way it is. Is like, the end of the day, the judges, they're gonna go by what they're looking for. Yeah. To you might be like, you know what, I've been the best I've ever been. I've never been this conditioned or whatever. Like, I look the best I've ever looked. But then for whatever reason, you still come in third or fourth.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Like this year, was it if you get top 5 last year or this year, it's that automatic national qualification. I remember you were telling me the other day, if you get top 2, they'll pay for you to go to nationals, your entry.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And I guess Mallory was telling me, and I didn't realize this, and she's probably right, is a couple of years ago, that's how it was. Like, if you got top 5, you get your national qualification. And I guess they started changing the rule. They always change the rules every year. Like, it's just,
they do.
What I mean? So they're going, I guess they're going back to a little bit of like the older ways to get more people in. But definitely not as easy as like back in the 90s when you had to do like USA's, like the top.
Yeah. Well, I did, to that point again, I did my second show where I actually got nationally qualified in Florida. I did the Max Fit Classic, It's a bodybuilding show out there. It's kind of a local show.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, it's part of the Panhandle. So it's northern Florida, like up and down the Panhandle, like Pensacola, Destin, what is it? I forgot. It's this. There's this beach. Sorry,
Yeah.
trying to think of it. Panama. There you go. Panama Beach. So all along there, they have all these bodybuilding shows. And of course, there's a lot of them in Central Florida, stuff like that, down south. So, but in that particular show, there was, I had 3 competitors in my class, and they only gave the national qualification to top 2. So whereas you would think it would be all of us, like top 5,
Right.
but there was only 3 competitors in that class. So
yeah,
it was just me and one other guy, and we got nationally qualified.
Yeah.
So yeah, they switch it up all the time. Like I guess it's top 5 sometimes in one show, top 2 in another.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it goes this year. I know, especially with COVID last year, it's just been crazy the last year and a half or so. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Have you been watching the Nick Walker versus Blessing? Like,
no, I haven't seen that.
I think it's really cool what they've done because I'm super excited to see the New York Pro now. I think it's like 3 weeks away. Whereas they've at first I thought it was like a real, like they were just like really going at it, but I think what they've done is created a really good what's the word I'm looking for? Rivalry, like friendly rivalry, to where it's made the show exciting now. I don't care who wins. They both look awesome. I think Nick's going to kill it. Nick Walker's going to, his freaking hamstrings are crazy.
Well, I was actually, because I get those emails or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And, talking about Blessing, there's like a beef with him and this guy.
Another guy?
Yeah.
Kudos to him though. He's trying, he's building some clout for himself and building some
oh yeah, here it is.
Getting his name out. Not that he wasn't before, but even more so, I feel like.
So I guess some guy, I guess Michael or Mikhail Krizo, he calls out Blessing for having baby biceps.
That dude does not have baby biceps for sure.
No. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see this, but
yeah, no.
So I'm not sure where this guy's from, but
yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna have Nick on legs. I think Nick's legs are gonna.
Oh no, Nick's legs are ridiculous.
Crazy. You know what he was saying is he doesn't do any leg extensions.
I know. I actually watched Haas's podcast.
Yeah.
And he was talking to Guy Cisternino and Haas obviously. And he was like, I like my whole prep, I don't do extensions at all.
Yeah. I almost did the sled pulls today just because I'm like, I want quads like Nick Walker.
Yeah, he said he would do sleds and he would do them backwards.
Yeah, I think
like he would pull backwards instead of pushing forward.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting though. I'm excited to see because I know the last couple of years in New York Pro has been kind of like, whereas before it was just like it was a really big like rite of passage in bodybuilding, like the Night of Champions. That's where you have Ronnie Coleman made his first like real big statement, and tons of other people in the past. You know what I mean? That was like a big show to do, and I think it'll be fun to watch. There's some good lineup this year.
Yeah, this lineup for this year's Olympia is going to be nice.
Yeah. What's your take? What do you think about guys continuing to get bigger and bigger in men's physique? I know you're moving from men's physique to classic, but you know, do you think that they should make more restrictions on size in men's physique, or just let them keep getting big? Because I've noticed a
To
lot of them are starting to look like bodybuilding. Like, you guys should just move to bodybuilding.
yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I honestly think it should go back to the way it was, you know, to more like that beach body look, like not so muscular, just more conditioned.
Yeah,
Just because, you know, these guys these guys in men's physique, they're getting so big that like they could literally compete in classic,
yeah,
you know, like because eventually if they keep getting bigger, there's going to get to a point where there's no dividing.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're gonna look exactly like they do in classic. They're just wearing board shorts.
And I think that was a big first appeal of men's physique, is more, I guess, for all intents and purposes, more attainable naturally, you know, to that beach bod look, that model look, you know what I mean? To where now it's like they're pushing that boundary of the bodybuilder-esque like size and no, like, don't get me wrong, like they look awesome. Like
Yeah.
they look sick. But you know, I think there's a big, huge flooding of people into the sport, and it brought a lot of people into the sport that maybe wouldn't have competed before, because it is more appealing to the, you know, average person that wants to get in shape and do a show and stuff like that, you know. So I think there needs to be, like you said, something like, there needs to be maybe just like get them
Yeah. I
disqualified
mean,
if they're too big, or like, you
yeah. I
know.
mean, if I remember correctly, I mean, yeah, I think even Jeremy Buendia said it. That like, I mean, men's physique, like when did the division start? Like 2016,
Yeah,
2014.
I don't even remember.
So, well, I know, yeah, it had to have been before that then, because I think 2016 was when Jeremy Buendia won his first Olympia in men's physique,
Hmm.
because he won 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
I think he won 16, 17, 18, and 19.
So it had to been like
Either that or
2014.
it was 2015, 15, 16, 17, because he won 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I've even seen pictures like back in the day when, you know, Jason Poston was up there.
Sadiq.
Yeah, Sadiq, Saeed, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
all these
Jeff Seed.
Jeff Seed, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, yeah.
So all these guys, and man, they looked good, but they looked small.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But it was, you know, not to take anything away from them, but it was just the right size for that division.
Yeah.
You know, like don't get me wrong, they look shredded, but the size that they had was perfect for that division.
Yeah.
You know, and I just think like, man, you see Raymond, and that guy's a freaking monster.
Yeah, man.
You know, and then of course, you know, Andre Ferguson, you know, that guy's a constant competitor. You know, he's been top 5 in the last 4 years. So if not longer.
Yeah. Even Logan Franklin, he made an easy jump over too.
Yeah, I remember even with Logan Franklin, he was even small in the men's physique division. And like
Now
look
he's
at
in
him now.
classic. Yeah, now he's in
Yeah,
classic. And
guy's huge.
what was he? Was he top 10 this year?
I believe he was, yeah.
Yeah. That's
I think he
crazy.
actually got like 6th.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. But I mean he looked great. So
Yeah.
but I definitely give it to Chris Bumstead, man. C-Bum. That guy's
Oh, I know, man.
I
That's
think
insane.
in my opinion, I think he's definitely setting the standard for classic
Yeah. That's what
for
he said he
sure.
wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, in my opinion, him and Rough Diesel, they're gonna definitely hold the standard for sure.
Yeah.
You know, like I love C-Bum's look, but I just feel like Rough Diesel has that just that classic look.
You know what's crazy to move up from there is, I was watching a video of Sean Clarita at the Dragon's Lair recently, and I
Mhm.
think he was talking to Dave from J Cutler TV, his off season is 201 pounds. And he was at the Olympia and won the 212 at 177 pounds last year.
That's crazy.
That he did not look 177 pounds. He looked like he was like 212.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He looked like in his offseason, he would be like 230, 240. That is crazy.
Yeah, it's just his muscle is just dense.
Yeah. And I guess he was saying like Matt Jansen was feeding him more and more as prep went on. I'm like, that's crazy, man.
That's
That's
crazy.
pretty, yeah. It made me realize I don't need to keep pushing so hard because like I was 215 and I'm back down to 205. You know, but I feel like I'm still holding on to a decent amount of size. But I definitely want to see how big I can get and not confine myself. If I surpass that 212 division, then that's cool with me. But it just made me realize like I don't need to play that size game specifically.
Well, this is another thing. I was actually again listening to Haas's podcast of today's, and he was talking about like, you know, because they're much older, you know, Guy and Haas, you know, versus Nick Walker. Like Nick Walker's only 26 years old.
Yeah.
You know, but it was like they were funny. They were just going back and forth, but they were saying that, you know, as you get older, you know, because they were basically saying like, oh, you know, Nick, you're young right now, you know, live it up now, because once you start getting older, like you're gonna have to start using the knee pads and the elbow pads and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you know, when Haas was training in the past, like he would always like want to go hard, like always go heavy, you know, and he would have people tell him like, hey, you know, you don't have to go so hard, you know, but he just couldn't hear it. Like he was just like, oh, I got to make it up. I got to hit it hard. And, you know, the point he was making was that like, you know, you don't have to train so hard, you know, I guess even as you're older,
Yeah.
you know, to get certain results.
Yeah, that's another thing we'll have to touch on in another episode is, and I was thinking about earlier is that, you know, and I've been doing it myself and I like it, but progressive overload versus volume, you know what I mean? Because you have like the Hunter Labradas and people doing push pull, progressive overload, tracking the logbook, beating the logbook versus the older way of Jay Cutler and doing volume, you know, volume.
Yep.
You know, so that'd be interesting to get some takes on that and some other bodybuilders on here. But we're getting close to that time, so thank you guys for watching. First episode.
Yes, sir.
Get the food down.
Yep.
I know you're trying to grow right now.
I am. I'm constantly eating, guys.
Yeah, welcome to the how do I say
welcome to hell.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited though, because now you can just like push it, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Goals to hit 230.
Yeah. You'll get there, bro.
So yep, little by little.
But we'll catch y'all later. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications, because this is just the first of many. And comment down below any topics you guys want us to talk on. I know a lot of our followings here local in San Antonio, Texas. So anything you guys want us to touch on here about in San Antonio or anything like that too, let us know.
Yes, sir. Stay tuned, guys, to our next episode of World of Iron.
Later,
guys. Peace out.